Welcome to another episode of Shining Red Dot Show. This show is in conjunction with our Shining Red Dot book that's being launched on 30th of August in Singapore. It's completely exciting to have you on the show on Shining Red Dot. This show is dedicated to business leaders, entrepreneurs, and all who are interested to go into global market. 30 authors and complete inspiration. The Shining Red Dot Show and the book is bringing to you some fabulous insights on going global. Are you ready for the game? Do you know what it takes to go into global market? What is the belief system? What is the techniques and tools? Who are the connections that you need to go into global market? Global entrepreneurship education, connection, and funding is what you're going to see on the Shining Red Dot Show.
He had the courage to say, no, we change course.
Step by step together.
What I wanted to say was congratulations if you are in that field. You're a coach and mentor. You are out there empowering and supporting people, because one of the greatest gifts that we can give a human being is a gift of their gifts, is the gift of their knowledge, of really discovering themselves. And that is what you do. That is what we do. The other thing is that, just so you know, when we started in this field back in 1976, I was very young, in my early 20s. And one of the things that there was nothing like there is now. I mean, if somebody had told me that coaching and mentoring was going to become this word that people were going to be using and people were going to be really interested in all of this and how it had grown, I would have never believed it. And I'm so grateful to you. This is the thing that I want to say, though, is that many of you do not treat it as a real business. What you treat it as is as a job, or as my old business partner, Robert Kiyosaki, you know, they, one of our mentors created the cash flow quadrant. We actually didn't give it that name. There were Robert Kiyosaki and his business partner, the second big business partner, Sharon Lecter, gave it the name, the cash flow quadrant. And if you remember, on this side is being an employee, self-employed, business, and then investment. And a lot of coaches and mentors, they treat their business as being employees or self-employed. They kind of set a business up and they become very, very much like a worker. And then they will go and they will take all these programs that there's quite a few people that are out there offering, which are how to grow and really expand and grow, and how to be a guru. And, you know, and if you go to moneyandyou.com, you will see that many of today's wealth gurus and experts are graduates of my program. And, you know, I am one of the pioneers in that industry. So, you know, Jack Canfield, I'm very close to. We're all co-founders of the Transformational Leadership Council. You know, I trained Tony Robbins in logistics, and my mentors in knowledge, you know, when he was only 23 years old. Robert Kiyosaki was around us for 17 years. Harv Eker was around us for 7 years. And then he hired people like, you know, Blair Singer, who, you know, learned quite a bit from us. And with our blessings, you know, was able to continue teaching that in other industry, in other groups. So we set the standard for the industry. But one of the things that people don't understand is to really take it as a business and then do as you really need to do. So there are people now that are in the business of just churning out, quote unquote, gurus. And the problem is that it doesn't happen because the gurus to be do not have a true understanding of the work. And the work is about you going inside and really becoming that person that needs to become in order to be in front of that room, because you are transparent. You cannot BS people. You cannot pretend to be something that you're not, and your results will speak for themselves. Like in the Money and You program, we have a thing called the business success model. You learn from masters, you create a niche, you leverage that niche through systems, through aligned teams, you create, synergy, and then you create results. That's one of the models of Money and You that people love so much. And when that's applied to real life, it's amazing. So you have to treat this career as a full-on business, but not only the business part, but also what is it that you have to become in order for you to be in front of that room. And that's why you see so many people that come and go from this industry. Many just kind of stop doing it, and then they go on to do something else, or they barely make it financially. And this is why we have created our instructors training program and our powerful presentation program, because people really come to learn that essence of being that you need to be in order for you to impress people and for people to want to follow you and for you to create the results necessary for people to be impressed by it. So, it's not just learning, and the word coaching, there are certain, groups that in 3 hours will give you a certification of being a coach. There's others that will do it on a weekend. And then there's others that will take a year, like our instructor, Perry Zurier. She's a master coach. She actually now has that particular certification. And she and I have all these conversations about this, because it is really important for people to understand that the mastery of being, the mastery of really beginning to coach people, because this is the difference. Coaching is you get a system and you take people through that and support them in creating results and having breakthroughs. Then there's mentoring. I'm considered more of a mentor because I have done so much in my life. I have the age behind me now. So my mentoring is like areas of expertise that I have, and this happens to be one of them for me. And thank you for listening. I know that I might be hurting somebody's feelings. I know that you're probably saying, why is she saying these things? But you need to know that you need a mentor like myself, like the mentors that we have, in order to support you, for you to really create results in the industry of coaching, in the industry of mentoring, in the industry of personal development. And you have to be very clear. Are you into self-improvement, or are you into transformational work? They're very different. Dale Carnegie, the beautiful books that he had, the inspirational books, were amazing. And they are self-improvement. And, and it really does work. It does work for me to say to myself very empowering things every morning. I still do it. I love Dale Carnegie. I love the metaphysicians, these amazing masters. But the transformational aspect of the work is a completely different thing, because it requires for you to go into the depths, into the essence of what it really takes to do that.
I work part-time as an admin assistant in a Christian organization. I work part-time because I have to attend to my husband who is sick. He had a stroke and chronic renal failure in 2007. Yeah, and the stroke has affected the left side of his body. He always feels quite sick after dialysis. Yeah, you feel nauseous, you feel very cold, and you have aching arms and legs. He wakes me up to massage him, or give him a hot drink, or to rub him to make him feel warm.
And you said you actually found a solution for it.
Yes, yeah, it's a wonderful product from Revelation 22.
Yes.
It's the Inertia sleeping system.
Yes, and how did it help him?
It keeps him warm and he has better blood circulation, so he doesn't feel that cold. I don't have to rub him so often to keep him warm, and his arms and his legs also doesn't ache that much. Because my husband is able to sleep much longer now, so I also can go to sleep because I do not have to wake up so often. I used to have aching calves, but now after sleeping on the system, I can sleep right through without the compression socks, and I don't feel my calf ache. And the other one is the pillow that comes with the set.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to wake up with stiff neck or stiff shoulders, you know. Yeah, but just sleeping one time on it the next day, I realized that, hey, I woke up without any stiff neck.
Just one
Yeah,
time?
that's really wonderful.
Really?
Yes, unbelievable actually. Yeah.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yes.
And I understand that you also have a slip disc.
Yeah, I had a slip disc.
Yes.
That was quite a number of years ago.
Right.
Yeah, so I have had a backache every now and then throughout the day. Yeah, but when I sleep on that mattress,
Yes.
I woke up without a backache. I'm very prone to allergy. So my eyes are one of them that are very sensitive. Yeah, they're always dry and they itch. And I always have to rub my eye every day. But when I discovered the initial eye mask,
Yes.
yeah, so I started wearing it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I felt that, hey, I woke up with, my eyes doesn't feel that dry and I don't rub my eyes. Okay, I have minor thalassemia. It's a genetic blood disorder. It makes me feel very tired. My plasma was very cloudy.
Yeah.
My blood cells were very clustered.
I see.
They were lack of oxygen. That's why I was feeling very fatigued.
I see. And then after you used Rev22 products, you went to do a blood test again. And what was the analysis like?
Okay, my plasma was clearer. Yeah, and then my blood cells were well oxygenated.
see.
Yeah, so they were not clustered anymore.
I see. So no less fatigue.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic.
People are attending networking events. What are the areas you think we need to focus on, especially when we are building these lasting relationships? You know, you have been building powerful relationship with people of different cultures. Being a Malaysian, you know, you travel to Singapore, you train people here in this BNI, and then you travel other countries where you are the master franchise of. And how do you find a lasting relationship in terms of what do you think are some of the tips you can give?
Okay, first thing when you attend an event is you got to be prepared with your basic tools. I always like to think that, you know, always go along with a name tag. So I've always carried my name tag wherever I go. So in case I attend an event where the organizers do not provide a name tag, I'll just put on my BNI name tag.
Okay.
You know, ice breaking is not easy. It's not everybody who is able to walk up to a stranger and say, "What's your name? What do you do?" So just a simple fact that you're wearing a name tag and other people are not allows people to approach you easier. Okay. So the first thing is obviously a name tag as a tool. And then the other thing is name cards. You'll be surprised the number of networking events that I attend, and people say, "Oops, sorry, I didn't bring my name card, or I didn't bring enough name cards." Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to have enough name cards to be able to share with people. But then, warning.
Yeah.
We don't want to go the the shotgun approach. Meaning we just don't want to be running like like a headless chicken around the room and shoving our name cards into people's hands. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, because nowadays the trend is to say, we don't have name cards, because we are just flooded with name cards, and many people just have it, and sometimes you don't even know if they exist anymore, right? So this is very important that you mentioned. So how do you feel we need to identify, like, who do we give to, or when do we give the card?
Okay. So I'm a bit old school, so I know that all this digital way, digital cards and so on, but I still feel that having somebody's name card in my hand allows me to have better contact and have all the details there on the spot itself.
Okay.
So what we should be doing in a networking event is when we approach people, we ask for their name card first. Make it like a bit of a competition. Don't be the first to give the name card, okay? Always ask them for their name card first. And then what I would do is that I'll just find out a bit more about them. Look at the name cards and try to find out a bit more about their business. Okay. And if I need to write any notes, I will just ask the person, is it okay if I put some notes on your name card? In some cultures, they may not like it, but when you ask them that way nicely, it's about them and the notes that you want to write there. Generally, they said, okay. And usually what I want to do in the initial conversation and networking event is not talk about myself, okay? If I meet somebody, I find out what do you do, what are you focusing in your business right now? And about 2-3 minutes into the conversation, I'll be asking, okay, this is the areas where I'm strong in, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And sometimes they will have some suggestions, they will be connected to some people, they want an idea, or perhaps I read a book or an article that I could easily send to them.
Yeah.
I just take note there, okay? So always look to do something for the other person that you're meeting. And that's the way to build the long-lasting relationship. Because in most networking events, other people are out there trying to shove their information or sell the product to the other participants. But you're the different one. You're the one out there looking to help people, and you definitely stand out.
Yeah, that sounds a natural way. And I know in BNI we say the givers gain philosophy, right? Yeah. It's
always seek to help other people first before looking for benefits yourself.
Okay. So, BNI has been one of the most successful structured format word of mouth marketing platform. And it really, it's one of the beginning of my journey in 2002 and 3, where, I think I started in 2003 in BNI in Singapore. And as a regional director, it really blew my mind, learning the skills of, getting into international market. And it's been one of the foundation of my work, I have to say. So you being the pioneer of the industry, tell us a little bit about how you feel this platform has been supporting growth of Asian businesses in this part of the world. That would be great for us to know about that.
Well, that's interesting because definitely BNI Singapore and BNI Malaysia were the two initial countries that started BNI in the Southeast Asia region. I've been involved in BNI for 15 years, and when I started BNI was only in 12 countries, and now it's in 73 countries. And then I think there's only about less than 100,000 business owners worldwide, and now we are standing at 230,000. So it's definitely grown, and half of the growth, close to half of the growth is definitely in the Asian region. So what has happened is this, okay? In Singapore and in Malaysia, just people got so in love with the results or the referrals that they're getting through BNI platform, and they just started spreading the stories, sharing the success stories to other countries, and then just caught wildfire. I think there's only about one or two countries in Southeast Asia now that don't have BNI yet, and all the rest are doing very well.
When I am a member of BNI in Singapore, I actually get international access to other countries. Is that true? Can you share with us? Because, we're talking about the Shining Red Dot book here and how, people doing business here want to get into international market. And many people do not know the value of BNI and how members can benefit when they are in one country to another. How supportive is globalization in BNI?
Actually, it's interesting, because in BNI, the globalization is on two platforms. One is technology. In BNI Connect, we've got a global system where it's like a private Facebook for BNI members, where you are able to connect with people of a certain industry or any industry you want in another country. And there are also chat groups. For example, if you're in the interior design construction, there's international chat groups within the BNI Connect where you can link up with people in the same industry. So there's the high-tech part, yeah. At the same time, there's the face-to-face, because in BNI, we emphasize a lot of relationships.
Happy National Day, Singapore. I'm here by the Singapore River at Clarke Quay, fantastic location. I've been in Singapore for 25 years, just absolutely love it here. It's a great place for business. It's very business friendly. So it's a fantastic hub for businesses looking to set up here and to then expand out through the region. And that's why we're putting together the Shining Red Dot book that you should look out for. Lots of business owners are included in here that are giving their advice on how to expand your business overseas, how to come into Singapore, make it in Singapore, and then make it bigger. So do join us for the journey.
by step, together we'll build our dreams. Heart to heart, together we'll stay as one nation, undivided. Back to back, together we'll brave the heat, the cold, the storms. Hand in hand, together we'll grow this land that we call home.